It'll be Kieran Burke in the ruck who goes up for Newcomb, but sharked immediately, and nicely done was Curry. First inside 50 going the way of the Tigers. Wonderful swoop and gather by McMahon. Looping handball back over the top towards Curry. Wagner was held without it. No free kick doing. And the ball is rushed through behind, so the early pressure all with the Tigers.
Well, like most games that we usually see, you know, obviously it's important to win, but I reckon this one is very important for Torquay to win and to join themselves up with that top 3.
Driven back inside 50 by White. It's a long ball to the teeth of goal. Henderson, he got 2 hands to it, but couldn't complete the mark and the ball out of play.
So Torquay, down in Torquay's end the ball will be. Let's see if they can get an early score on the scoreboard. The umpire will throw this one back in as the sun starts to come out. Ball thrown back in there, and it tried to get a punch out there by Kieran Burke. And it looks like James Hussey was trying to pick up that ball. Bit of congestion going on here with the ball in the hand of Paul McMahon, but umpire liked the ball again to ball it up. And we'll quickly get this game going again. Ball goes up there. And tried to be tapped out there by McMahon, but he couldn't really get his hands on it. And ball brought to the deck again, so anticlimactic now in the Torquay pocket there.
With a bit of a breeze, it looks like it might be quite hot football here, contested footy on this wing towards us.
Yep, McMahon and Burke to battle. Burke got up high quickly. Wagner got a quick clearing kick away. Nolan tumbled one out of play, so the pressure is on from Torquay early doors here. Plenty of pressure being applied early, and Gleeson will take, I think, the resulting free kick. Well, there's a bit of confusion now. The looks like it might be thrown in after all that, and it will be. About 50 around from goal for the Tigers. Tossed in, nice and flat, favouring McMahon. Burke was reaching over the top for Newcomb. Strong tackle on Turnley, couldn't get his hands clear. And again, another stoppage. Oh no, he's pinged it. Holding the footy is the call. A really hot call. Perhaps the umpire just trying to break things up. And it'll be going the way of Torquay and Tyler Lovell by the look of things.
Yeah, Paul McMahon took that ball there. So right outside the goal square. 11 goals already this season from 5 games. He's played all the games so far this season, I should say.
Great start for Torquay. 2 tackles inside 50 to start the quarter.
And right in front will be McMahon trying to get the first goal of the game. And he just lines up. Oh, that's gone through. Fantastic goal there by McMahon. Great start for Torquay. And they now lead 1 goal. Oh, they didn't get it behind. So 1 goal, 7 to 0 for Newcomb.
The perfect start for the Tigers. Paul McMahon judging the breeze beautifully. That's all thanks to Harvey Norman and Red Onion, of course. 117. Yet to score, yet to go inside 50. And Newcomb. So back in the middle. Wilbur's doing a good job on the scoreboard for you all today, as you can see on the bottom left of your screens. So we're back in the middle. Burke wins it down for Newcomb. Thought Curry was held on to, but no free kick doing. Hussey wrapped up in a strong tackle. He'll attract some attention today. The ball will be tossed up.
Just really quickly, what Wilbur said before, that looks to be an advantage with the wind down that left side. I believe the oval's also slightly slanted to the left, so usually the ball does end up down there. A fair bit of my time I've been down here to see Torquay footy. Looked to be cleared out there by the Newcomb player towards the inner wing. Ryan's around the ball there, and he hand passes to his teammate who tries to clear it out there. He's looking for Gordon. Gordon, could he get his hands on the ball? Wagner's also in there, but Newcomb still hold the control of the ball. Cleared out to Huntley Mitchell on the outside, but brought back in, and trying to pick it up there was Tom Smith for Newcomb. Bit of a hot potato footy going on here. Trying to be picked up there by Warmold for Torquay, and the ball hits the deck again, and the umpire will throw it up.
Hot start. Plenty of pressure around the footy, that's for sure, to start things. The ball right in front of us. Perfect vantage point for it. Good ruck work, Wagner. Got it clear. Smith. Handball missed the mark. Chance now for Lovell. He just scrummages it forward. Back inside 50. Nolan couldn't get his handball clear. Hot footy back to Nolan, who looks to exit his defensive 50. Swings it wide. They're going a long way back to go forward. Wagner found Jennings. They're working a long way back, and he's caught, and it's holding the footy. Tremendous pressure again from Torquay, and it's that man, Paul McMahon.
Yeah, good contact there from the Torquay player. Just knocked the ball out of Newcomb's hands, and Paul McMahon now picks up the ball again, and he'll be going for his second goal already.
7th tackle for the quarter as well by Torquay to Newcomb's 2.
So fantastic pressure already by Torquay. And they now get a second chance for goal. This looks just to be outside the 50. And he'll probably be kicking this from about 30 metres out. Quite a fairly long run up. And McMahon runs in. Straight kick over the umpire's hat again. That's his second goal, and that now reads 2-1-13 to 0-all for Newcomb. And a nifty 30-point advantage for Torquay already.
Yep, very strong start by the Tigers. McMahon with his second, and as Wilbur says, 7 tackles already there. Pressure has been right up. Very, very impressive start from Torquay. They've had all the play and they've piled the pressure on Newcomb. Can the power respond? Back in the middle. Burke palmed it down, but another clearance going the way of Torquay. Henderson was terrific. Curry on the run from the paint of 50. Chopped off. Fullback Ogle looks up. Doesn't have a heat to kick to, only Burke. This kick favours him though, but he drops one he should have taken. He might be happy to see this one out, and in fact he was ripped off it, and they've paid a free kick. Must have been for either a high or a sling tackle to go in the way of Burke for the power. Just chips on down the line, but it's a poor ball. The ball was heading towards Birchall, but it was chopped off by his own man. Gleeson couldn't get his hands clear enough, and the ball out of play.
So Torquay will be happy with their start here, as it's just out of our vision here on this inner wing.
Was Newcomb's first mark for the quarter as well, boys.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Just pressure by Torquay at the moment.
So tapped out there by Burke, and a bit of congestion going on once again. Trying to be picked up here. The ball just rolls through all the players there. Cleared out by Newcomb. Hussey's got the ball in hand. He hand passes it just on the line of the wing here, and it looks like Hussey there was trying to punch it out, but then picked up straight away by Birchall, and he just puts it back in Torquay's 50, and will try to be a mark there by what looked to be his teammate in McMahon, and it's just gone across the face here to the other side, and it's picked up there in the back line by Newcomb.
Yep, Reid chips it down the line. Good looking kick. Finds Mead Harding. Been a consistent performer for a couple of seasons now for the power. Andrew Mead Harding. Left footer. Drives it hard down the line. It was a wonderful kick too. Found Burke, I think that is on the outer side. He's at half forward.
Yep.
I think it was Gordon.
Yeah, I thought it was Gordon as well.
Gordon,
it's all good.
excuse me. Plays on. Chips inside 50, but the kick wasn't his best. Chopped off by Pearson Bennett, who switches into the goal square, and Hopper marks. He goes short. Looping one over the top. He had Warmold on. And the kick down the line. One-on-one contest here. Both players will be pretty happy to see it over the line, and they are. Mark Robb's seen that one over for Torquay, and the ball out of play. So the scoreboard reads 2-1-13, as you can see on the bottom left of your screen. Torquay. Newcomb are yet to score. It's thanks to Red Onion and Harvey Norman.
Torquay really on top of the moment here. That was Newcomb's first inside 50 for the quarter, and just goes straight back out.
See if Newcomb can give a response here. Picked up straight away there by Curry, and he tries to drive it into the 50, but then the ball hits the deck again. Newcomb picking up the pieces once again. It was in the hands of Parrish, and just taken to that outside, but picked up straight away by Lavelle, and he tries to bring into the 50, and then it's a great mark there by Heathcote, and now he's about 40 out on the outer side, and he's going to be lining up for goal kick. He's quite far out, so hopefully he can make the distance here. Well, I'm sure Gleeson and his men will be happy with this start from Torquay. And Heathcote will see what he can do with the ball here. Like I said, quite far out, probably about 40 metres on an angle. Kicks it in. it looks sliding to the right. That will be a behind for Torquay. 2-2-14 to Newcomb. Nothing on the scoreboard yet.
Looks like they are kicking with a slight breeze. Torquay, Wagner, out of his own back half, finds Ladlow. Went quickly back to Wagner. Loops one over the top by hand. Newcomb still patrolling at half back. A loopy handball to Smith. Slight fumble. They're putting themselves under all sorts of pressure again here. Newcomb, Torquay are piling it on. Look at them just swarm in on over Wagner. Wonderful, wonderful pressure by Torquay, and they wrap the ball up just forward of centre wing.
So a fair few ball ups already happening in this first term. As we'll go up again, look to be a tap there by Reid. And had that ball in hand there for Smith for Newcomb. Newcomb just trying to get out his congestion zone, and there's been a hole in the ball call in Torquay's favour. Quickly handed off and straight into the 50, kick there by Henderson. And he was looking for his man there. Did he mark that one? It didn't hit the ground, and they're going to pay it. That's in the hands of Heathcote once again. And he's sort of in the same position he was. He's going to line up again by the looks of it. So Torquay just taking all their chances when it comes to marks inside 50. And how many inside 50s for the quarter, Wilbur?
Torquay about the 6.
6.
To Newcomb's 1.
Torquay already have 4 scoreboard appearances. Like I said, 2-2-14 to donuts for Newcomb. Heathcote comes in again. Let's see what he can do this time. And just going to the left side. I don't think it made the distance, but almost a mark there by his teammate. And that's just going to go for a rush behind. 2-3-15 to 0 for Newcomb.
It's a nice looking kick from Jack Heath. He's kicked a couple of good ones this year. We appeared in the Harvey Norman highlights at the start of the season. Kicked 11 goals in total so far. Nolan drives it wide. Burke got up high and he takes a good grab in the end. Little juggler was good as McMahon lost his boot. That's the thing you can see him holding there on the mark. He started well, Burke. Oh, I've jinxed him there as he floats one straight out in the full, right next to the truck.
That's almost coming to the van, that footy. So
yeah, we're right. And look at this, got the perfect vantage point here for Jesse Whites. He's looking inboard, but opts to go shorter than that. The kick isn't his best. It nutmegged Burke. Cleaning up as Deledio, brother of, but turned over. Burke loops one over the top to Huntley Mitchell. Hugs the boundary. Kicks down the line towards Mead Harding. Wants it out the back. Driver at ground level. Loops one by hand, but Torquay emerged with it. Raid me. Gleeson was caught high, but nothing doing according to the umpire. Driver burrows in for Newcomb again. As does Ladlow, who's burying around. The ball somehow socket clear, and it will stay into Deledio. Strong tackle by Nolan, and holding the footy's a call.
Gleeson with a pretty big yell there. He was a bit frustrated with himself. Newcomb, this is a chance for Newcomb to see what they can do in their forward line. Second inside 50 for Newcomb now, but just great mark there straight away. And it just goes straight into the hands of Bennett, who takes it around to the other side, and he looks for his teammate in McKay. McKay takes it, switches it to the outer side. That was Hopper with the ball. Mark there by White. White handballs it straight away and just picks up in the hands of Bennett. There was touch there, and it looks like to go back to White, but it's gone out of bounds. And it's now on Newcomb's side of the ground here.
Newcomb got lucky there. Just that hack kick long inside 50 and it was cut off. That's the second inside 50 and it should have come straight back out.
Tossed in. Reid over the top was dominant, but doesn't result in a clearance, and the shot on goal will fall short. 2-on-1 numbers with Torquay here. In fact, there's 4-on-1 at the end. Raid me feeds it back to Hopper, who's nearly caught. Just got his kick clearing it fortuitously. Falls. That mark was paid early by the umpires. Dawson dropped it, but has timed the mop up and kicked to half forward. Wonderful, clever grab from Heathcote. A one-hander. And
50.
There's a whistle, and he's paid a push
maybe not
against Heathcote. Thought it was a good grab, but umpire didn't agree. Driver's on here. The kick misses him. Huntley Mitchell and Raimi go at it. Driver emerges with it. Huntley Mitchell was clean at ground level, but Torquay is swarm in numbers. Strong tackle from Holmes. Gleeson emerges with it, but his handball misses the target and driven back inside 50. No good. Mead Harding had 3 to beat and couldn't. Feed it out by hand through Saker. The mark was dropped by Josh Chapman at half-back. Doesn't have enough time to mop up, and Hussey chips back inside 50. The kick looked online, but it was intercepted, and Gleeson and Torquay can rebound out of 50.
So cleared straight away out there to Torquay. Henderson tried to go the ball. No one could touch it. Running race here. Raidme tries to pick it up. He just taps it towards the boundary line. And 2-on-2 here, but they all jump onto the ball, and there'll be a ball up. So, yeah, Torquay just too strong in that back line, and it looked to be... Did they have an extra man down there? They might have. So Torquay just doing the work down back. And
credit to Newcomb here, though, that their pressure in that forward half was a lot better there. Both sides handballing it too much and turning it over, I feel.
So trying to get cleared out here. Newcomb, they're trying to pick up the pieces, but they're just struggling with that clearance side of things. Gets socketed along the ground. One-on-one there, a bit of a bump. They both hit the deck. Passed out there by Smith, who gets it to his teammate. Cleared away there by Nolan. And he was looking for Gordon, who umpires called it. It's Newcomb's free kick anyway. Wagner kicks it to the outer side, looking for a couple of plays, but picked up straight away there by Steele, and he brings it in to Newcomb's 50 again. Running race here. He just fends off his man. Can he kick the goal here?
What a goal!
Looks to be fantastic goal there by Steele.
That's a Harvey Norman highlight, I reckon.
Sure is.
Boys, what a goal.
That's his 10th goal of the season and his first for Newcomb today. And the scoreboard now reads 2-2, waiting for the scoreboard to come up. So, yeah, fantastic goal there by Newcomb.
Torquay 2-3-15 to 1 straight goal for Newcomb.
2-3-15, yeah, to 1 straight goal to Newcomb. So, a 9-point lead to Torquay as we come to the closing stages of the first term.
Great goal.
Just what Newcomb needed as well.
Great goal from Andrew Steele. Showed a clean pair of heels. Wonderful effort. No ball back in the middle. Hussey got his hands clear. Huntley Mitchell wrapped up quickly by Birchall. Gleeson went to work, as did Raidme. Birchall again at ground level, just jumps on him.
Pinned here, yep, he has.
Has pinned him for holding the footy. Probably fair enough too. He did jump on it.
He was showing...
No?
No, I don't think it was, because he was showing he was trying to punch it out, but...
He didn't fold his arms. Thought he played holding the footy. Tossed up. One down by Andrew Birchall for Torquay, who's an in for them this afternoon. Not an emergency, as we've got on our team list. Pumped inside 50. Nearly a good mark. Should get a free kick. 2, but nothing doing. Ball falls back to Heathcote, who was the man who was impeded. But Newcomb might emerge with it, but Deledio swooped in quickly looking for Henderson. His handball missed the target, and Henderson lays a strong tackle on Ladlow. And the ball will be tossed in.
So Torquay have a chance here. Just right near their left side point post. Yep. And it will be thrown up. What are you going to say, Wilbur?
They're Torquay +2 for possessions for the quarter, so even sort of game at the moment.
Even sort of game. And once again, Newcomb just clearing it out here. He's looking for Gordon. And Gordon could get his hands on it, but it's still in play. Yes, it is. And try to get passed back in straight. Pick up there by Birchall, who brings it into the middle. And a great mark there by his teammate. I'm just trying to pick up his number. Heathcote there. So he'll be looking for his second goal of the game. Or first, sorry, he hasn't kicked one yet.
It's their third mark inside 50 for the quarter, and that's their 9th inside 50. Both sides handballing a lot. 26 handballs for Torquay to Newcomb's 24, so lots of good handballs out of clearances and some of missed targets.
So Heathcote 11 goals so far this season. And that one's straight through the middle there. Oh, is that... No, that's gone through. It's a goal.
Just hit the net.
Yeah, hit the net. Looked like it hit the post from my perspective. And Torquay extend their margin 3-2-20 to 1-6. 14-point margin for Torquay in this first term at McCartney Oval. And that was a good response there by Torquay. They sort of held control of the ball in that last passage of... that last... play there before Newcomb's goal.
Newcomb were starting to get on top in the clearances at +1 at the moment, but had the last 4 inside 50s before that. Newcomb did. So it'd be Driver and Birchall in the ruck. It's Andrew, not Paul, for Torquay. Kick to about 60 out for the Power. Overrunning it was Gordon. They feed back. Hussey just dives on it. Probably could have got in the back free kick, but the umpire didn't agree. Strong tackle laid on Holmes. Ball will be tossed up.
Go on, Wilbur.
I was just saying it was by Gordon, the tackler.
Yeah, it was a good tackle. So tossed up just inside the centre squares. Birchall won the hit out and extracted. Back inside 50 from Garner. Ball's in a dangerous spot. McMahon's a left footer. Feeds it back, but he missed Gleeson by hand. Reid. Rebounds for Newcomb. Only as far as Birchall, who got the fist in for Torquay, and they work it back again. Dawson, clever kick to Gleeson. He's at right half forward. Been busy early. The Torquay leader. He looks up. The hero from last week. Kicks inside 50. He got two hands to it. Couldn't bring the ball back down. Nolan calmly done. And finds his man. Ball's at half back. Driven towards the wing. They're struggling with that kick out of defensive 50. Newcomb, they struggle to find a target. They're trying to work their way out of it now. Wagner to Hussey. He's at centre half back, and they switch it again to Nolan, who can take a bounce. Takes one. Thinks better than a second. Kicks towards Reid and Mead Harding. Mead Harding's first on the scene. Nolan's kept running for him. Wonderful squaring kick to Hussey at centre half forward.
So,
sorry, Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon has that one. He just lobs it up to the left side there, looking for his man there. Couldn't get his hands on the ball. That was O'Connell. And on the outer side, right near the boundary line, it's taken over. So I think Newcomb, their running with the ball's been okay. They haven't been really chased down by Torquay yet. And that's sort of, I reckon, what's helped them a bit when they've got possession.
No, it's their 11th rebound 50 for the quarter. So they've been able to create some overlap in the last couple of minutes.
Yep, so tapped out there. Ball on the ground as players try to pick it up. And Torquay just pick up the ball. He looks for a Raidme, who just tries to pick it up but loses his touch on the ball, and picked up there once again by O'Connell. And he's going there. Great mark there on the line by Bennett, and he will have the ball as he tries to get it out of the 50. Gleeson there tried to pick it up, but he's still got it. Kicks it to the outer side, looks for his teammate there, and he just stops play here, wait for all these men to run up so he can find a man. Long kick on the outer side. I think he was looking for Henderson there, but the umpire's made a call.
He's going to
take the advantage, and that is McMahon with it, but umpire stopped it. He's not. Oh, so it looks like Newcomb will be taking over the ball here, or is he asking him to come back?
Just asked him to come back.
It was holding on McMahon, but yeah, they asked him to to come back.
So McMahon runs back, and he'll be looking for a man in the 50 now. Let's see, will he bomb this one in? Yes, he does. Towards it in front of the goal there, but great mark there by the Newcomb defender. That looked to be McDonald, I believe.
Reid at full back.
Reid.
Go on, Will.
Wasted sort of kick there, just not even to the hot spot, just to two Newcomb players.
Reid's kick to O'Connell was neat enough. He's at half back, goes back to Reid, has a slight fumble, has time to clear, but his kick's poor. It'll be coming straight back to him. Raidme, lovely handball, threading the needle to Gleeson from 60. Kicks to half forwards. Coming late was Heathcote. Couldn't get his hands to it. Can Newcomb rebound here? They go with strength of numbers. Chipping ball to Wagner in the back pocket. Had to be good and was. Had to stretch the wee man. He's tucked in his back pocket. Short ball to Hussey. Is safe enough. He has Burke in front of us if he wants. He heads in that direction. But it's a poor kick and it's chopped off straight away by Warmold.
How many turnovers for Torquay, Wilbur?
For Torquay?
Yep.
Newcomb.
Yes, for Newcomb, sorry, yes.
They've had the 12.
12. So...
Lots of missed kicks out of their back half. Like I said, they had the 13 rebound 50s, but lots of them have been turnovers.
Do you have a disposal efficiency stat?
No, I don't.
That's alright, sorry. Too much information then. So Curry tries to bring that one in, goes to the left side, but it was at a mark there. I think the umpire's going to pay it. No play on in the hands of the Torquay player there. And in front of goal, but it's going to be a rush behind there for Torquay. So 3-3-21 to Newcomb's 1-6.
Under the pump here, the Power, they'll be looking to hold on to quarter time and use the breeze in the second term. Wagner loops on over the top to Ogle. They look to work it out of their back half, and they do it neat enough. The ball's with O'Connell at half back. Got Burke in front of us if he wants. Just goes shorter than that and finds Wagner, who looks inboard to Hussey, part of the BFL Interleague squad. Goes short, good kick. Could have gone to then. Probably should have Pete Plummer, but chose not to. Wobbled forward, mark was dropped, but Huntley Mitchell has time to pick up if he can, but couldn't pick it up out of the mud, and the ball back in the middle of McCartney Oval. Can Torquay extract, and they do through Garner, who showed a nice bit of a stiff arm, but the kick has turned over and swung back out towards O'Connell.
So O'Connell grabs this mark here on the inner wing. Oh, he goes straight to the mark there of Birchall. And tried to quickly get picked up there by Hussey, but he couldn't get his hands on the ball. Ramey picks up the pieces straight over to Lavelle, and Lavelle just takes on to the outer side. Is he looking for McMahon now? Oh, two players go up, but ball hits the deck, cleared out once again by Newcomb. He's looking for his man on the outside. That is Nolan, and Nolan just progresses the ball forward. Short little kick to the outer side there, just in front of the interchange gates here at McCartney Oval. And just a long kick in here, receiving it into the 50. He can't yet. It looked like Warmold for Torquay was going up there, but the ball's gone across the line. It'll be thrown in. So not much time left in this first term.
No, played 26 minutes this opening term, so only a couple left.
Newcomb going at 45% kicking efficiency.
There we go.
Cheers, thank you very much for that.
Birchall won the hit out, and the umpire is paid holding the foot. He has a funny signal for that, but I think that's what he means. It'll be a Newcomb free kick anyway. Ogle pumps it inside 50. Position A was had by Warwald, but he was spoiled by his own man, I reckon, in the end. Birchall finds a way through. They work by hand back to Warmold, who's confronted right on the quarter time siren. So Torquay with a couple of goal advantage to start the game, 3-3-21 they are. Newcomb 1 straight 6. We'll be back in a couple of minutes for the second quarter. So 3-4-22 plays 1 straight. Torquay in front. Can Newcomb use the breeze this second term and get their game going? Got Hussey, Ogle and Wagner in the middle for Newcomb, so they've gone all the big guns. Umpire blows the whistle, holds the ball off. Second term underway, BFL round 6. Over the top was Reid getting the early hit out for Torquay. Burke, Wagner was stripped of it and dropped. Free kick going Torquay's way immediately. This is Mark Robb in the middle of McCartney Oval. Swings it wide to Ramey, who shows some good body work. Ball teetering near the boundary. Ramey keeps it in. Chips it inside 50. Lovely diving mark by Gleeson.
Bit of acrobatic skills there. And I wish we had a replay of that. He just toppled over the ball and looked like he meant to do that almost. And he's right in front of us now for an early start here for Torquay in this second term now. Kicking to the right-hand side, which we think is in against the direction of the wind.
Credit to Ramey there as well, winning that one-on-one contest.
He went short, but looking for Ramey, but swooping in was Ladlow, and he finds Wagner.
So Newcomb, let's see what they can do. Oh, they're struggling to get it out here, but picked up the pieces looking for their teammate, but that was Birchall there, Hopper there, who picked it up. And a turnover there. Gleeson has the ball again. He'll stop here. Oh no, he runs again, and he's looking for his teammate Henderson, and he just holds on to the ball. So Torquay get a second chance, and they should be lining up for this one. So don't waste any more opportunities. But Henderson in the deep pocket here, I think just outside the 50-metre arc, but he can kick this. Henderson having 7 goals so far this season from his 5 games. On the right foot there, he kicks it. Great kick there, and that's gone over. So that's Torquay's 4th goal, and the scoreboard reads 4-4-28 to Newcomb, still 1 goal 6
Perfect
points.
Start for Torquay there, especially with Gleeson having the opportunity to kick goal and turned it over. But credit to Torquay's forward pressure there to be able to get the ball back inside 50 and have 2 marks inside 50 for 2 inside 50s.
And this is Newcomb's time to shine with that supposed breeze to the left.
Really have to take their opportunities here, Newcomb.
Then you get their hands on the footy. They've started both quarters pretty slowly. They just need to get their game going here, the power. Ball back in the middle. Burke and Reid to do battle in the ruck again. Reid's been good so far. Been a good battle between those two, in fact. Curry to Gleeson. Swung wide by Hopper, who's been busy. Lovely kick to McMahon, who will wheel round on his left foot from 60. Hangs it up towards Heathcote. Who was he impeded? No, said the umpire. Birchall comes in late, trying to get his hands clear. Was sharked. Reed under all sorts of pressure from Torquay. The ball teetered near the boundary. Kept in. Swung over the top. Ladlow. They're trying to work it out by hand. Newcomb, they're teetering a fine line. Wagner back to Ladlow. Reed was caught. McMahon was stripped of it. Ball still at half forward and hasn't gone out yet. And then there's a whistle, and finally it does. And again, Wilbur, the pressure from Torquay has been hot early.
Has been great, Buzz. Newcomb just seemed to overuse the handball too much, especially in that defensive half, and just get a long ball down the ground, play safe, instead of just those short little handballs and turning it over.
And what's the inside 50 count for both sides, Wilbur?
Torquay 2 to Newcomb for the whole match.
For the whole match, do you have that stat for the whole match? Yep.
19 to 8.
19 to 8. So there we go. So over double inside 50s for Torquay. And the ball looks to just pop out of bounds again on that outer side near the interchange gates. As the clouds start to roll in, overcast conditions now. Just tried to get a tap there by Burke. Taken onto the outside. Newcomb trying to clear this ball out. Raidme tried to pick it up. He was in front of a couple of Newcomb men. And just trying to get that ball off the ground. That was trying to be tapped out there by Smith by the looks of it. And O'Connell is trying to pick up the ball, but it's just wheeled out almost into Torquay's favour and just kicked off the ground there by Raidme. He was looking for, I believe that was Grace. And Gleeson's trying to run around to get his hands on the ball. Couldn't get picked up there by Ryan, just in front of us here now. Picked up straight away by Hopper. Hopper just clears it out up into the air. He's looking for his teammate. One-on-one here. Great mark there by Laval. And he will just walk back and look for a man as they all run into the inside 50 zone. And Laval kicks it straight in. Looking for someone in there, or a couple of Newcomb players go up. No one could get their hands on it. McMahon was around there as well. Picked up there by Nolan off the deck. Straight to Hussey. Hussey handballs it to the outer side. Cleared out of the Torquay 50 again by Newcomb, but just picked up straight away there by Hopper. And he does a little short kick into the 50. And Raimi's all by himself. Let's see if he can chase after this ball. Great mark there. And he looking for a player. Passes it straight to Gleeson. They've been great together today. Gleeson tries to knock it in, but that's gone for, hit the post there for a behind. So 4-5-29 to Newcomb, still 1 goal. And it's a 23-point margin.
Very strong start by Torquay. Isn't Don Gleeson looking in good shape? Father Time hasn't caught up with him yet. Nolan has been busy. Goes short, finds Smith. Feigned a handball, but thought better of it. Looks further afield. He's got Driver, has 2 to beat. Couldn't do that. Raidme. Handball evades him and the ball goes out of play on the heart of centre wing. So thanks to Harvey Norman and Red Onion, it's 4-5-29 Torquay. You can see in the bottom left of your screen to Newcomb. 1 straight, no score for the Power in this term so far. Reed reaches over the top in the ruck for Torquay. Hussey finds a way through to Wagner, who's caught immediately. Probably threw that out, but nothing doing. Smith over the top. They've got runners now. Hussey has kept going, but he's caught immediately and driven into the turf too, and holding the footy's a decision.
It's just that last tackle there. That should have been a kick inside 50 instead of handball onto Hussey, and he's under pressure.
So great chasing tackle there by Garner. He kicks off to Curry. Curry looking for Henderson there, and he's just in front of us here. And Henderson will be looking for a man. Short kick to his teammate. Is that to Laval again? Yes, it is. And Laval now looking for a man. Outer side here. McMahon's there. Great mark there by McMahon, and he'll be just in the pocket there, tucked in there. Will he go for this one? He might be. He's looking for a man as well. It is a tough kick.
Because the Breeze will be bringing this ball away from him from his left foot. Be a fair goal.
Well, Torquay's got all the advantage in their hands at the moment in terms of margin. So definitely good attempt to just go for this one. And McMahon on the left foot goes across the face. It won't be anything. Tried to be picked up there by a couple of Newcomb players and just tapped across the line there by Wagner. And that will be a rush behind for Torquay. So 4-6-30 to 1-6.
Newcomb relying too much on Hussey and Wagner in the back half. Their midfielders, yes, they should be playing as a defensive sort of midfield, but midfielder, but they need to be up the ground as well.
Nolan played on from the kick out right in front of us and thumped right below us. And
of course,
out of play.
Hussey and Wagner both in the interleague squads, and Hussey from the VFL, as Josh said before, and Wagner from Leopold.
Big time recruits. Fine.
Yep. So, good point you make there.
Tossed in. Reid reaches over the top of Burke to win the hit out for Torquay. Ball at ground level as players raffle for it, but no one able to get a clear possession. So 30 plays 6 here. Ball goes up again. Reid was impeded and he'll earn himself a free kick. Burke not happy with the decision, but it goes the big fella's way. Has a runner in McKay, who just hacks on inside 50. It was a high footy. Flyers were wanted. Ogle was caught in the back half. Should have been pinged probably in the end. Raidmey's on the outside if he wants. Gets his handball clear. Grace just hangs it up. Lovely kick. Was McMahon impeded? No, said the umpire. Interesting decision, but the falls back to Grace, who snaps and goals on the left foots. They get their reward.
Yeah, fantastic there by Grace. I was just about to say before that goal, you know, Newcomb's like full back line, they have stopped a couple of goals or even just scores by Torquay, but my point there has just been thrown out with that goal there by Grace. That'll be Torquay's 5th goal for the game. But yeah, I've just been thinking the full back line has been their last resort sometimes, and the margin could be even higher if it wasn't for some of them, but obviously it doesn't show with that goal there by Grace.
So 24th inside 50 for the match. So Newcomb really under pressure right now, especially this quarter. Torquay have been real hot, and Newcomb are yet to register an inside 50 for the quarter. So
any inside 50s for Newcomb this quarter?
None.
Yeah, there you go. So ball goes up. Tried to get a tap there by Burke, and just in the middle, Wagner was calling for something there, and a fair few players being knocked over just in that muddy centre there, and it'll be another ball up by the umpire. That was Dawson with the ball in hand. And I reckon next goal sort of decides the way this game's going to go. If Torquay can get another goal, it'll be slipping out of Newcomb's hands quite dramatically. Burke got that tap there, and it was in Holmes' hands, but ball hits the deck again, and it'll be another ball up. So Newcomb got to use this time to adjust and prepare for something, because Torquay could just burst down the middle here and get it straight in.
Tossed up. Burke up early for Newcomb. Won it down only as far as Dawson for Torquay though. Hacked clear. Wagner takes a good mark. Back with the flight. Not happy with some of the attention from Raidmey. Funny looking kicking ball. That's gone all of 5 metres, but the mark still paid to Burke. Hussey handballed straight to Hussey. That's what Will was talking about. They're too Hussey conscious. And Gleeson inside 50. Good timely fist coming, but Henderson will nearly emerge with it, but the boundary line beat him and the ball out of play.
Yes, that's what I was just saying, that full back Newcomb line, that was Jennings there that punched it on out. It's just earning them time, but what sort of attack will Torquay have now with the ball once again just outside their 50-metre zone? Ball thrown back in there, and just picked up straight away by McMahon, pushing his mouthguard in the process, and then just kicked straight into the 50 there by McKay. No one there. His closest opponent was teammate was Deledio, but picked up once again by Newcomb. Hussey has the ball now. What can he do with it? He kicks into the centre zone, finds a free man in Wagner. Oh, that's not Wagner. Sorry, Ryan. And Ryan just takes it to the outer side to his teammate there, Steele. Steele into their 50s. This is their first 50 for the quarter, inside 50, and tapped out there by Gordon. He's trying to get it to a teammate, and just kicked off the ground there, or just flopped off someone's foot into the hands of Saker, and just running here might be Lavelle on that outer side, and it's just gone straight down to the full who was looking for McMahon, and Newcomb will pick up the ball again.
Like you said there, Buzz, they're not just Hussey conscious, but just that extra handball to Hussey there just puts him on pressure when they could have just done a nice kick down inside 50.
It was a poor kick to that man that we speak of from Nolan. Hussey couldn't complete the mark, but they have a little bit of time to work their way out of it, but it coughs straight back up again. Chapman got his handball clear, but falls to the advantage of Newcomb. Can they get some clear air now? They do with Ogle. His kick inside 50 is a poor one though. Straight turnover. All the numbers with Torquay. Kick kick-in board's nice to Warmald, and they have runners on the outside. Look at them go. This is Harry Mackay, and he's got a fair bit of toe to him as well. He was nudged as he kicked, so the free kick will be going downfield, and Torquay and Billy Henderson will have a shot on goal.
Just with that last passage of play when the ball entered Newcomb's 50, there was no one there. They were still all on the outer wing.
They play on, chipped inside, 50, lovely delivery to McMahon, who takes a mark in the left forward pocket.
So
he plays on quickly, squares the ball. Raidmey's got some work to do against Ogle. Ball falls to ground level. Ogle emerges with it. There's a whistle. I think the ball's going to have to come all the way back. It's Paul McMahon. After all that, late whistle. I think McMahon will have his kick again.
Quite lucky there, Torquay, because Newcomb did look like they were out on the rebound here.
McMahon's also a left footer as well, so I don't think he'll be wanting to try and kick this, but looks like he's going to attempt it. The score reads 5-6-36 to Newcomb 1-6, so a 30-point margin for Torquay. See what McMahon can do here.
He's going the banana.
He's going the banana, and he attempts it, and that's a behind there. So 5-7-37 to 1-6, and it's now a 31-point lead for Torquay Tigers.
Brought back in by Nolan, goes short to Reid. Nolan keeps running. He's had a lot of footy in this position. Drives it towards Burke, who was up early, couldn't complete the mark, but they're on the counter-attack here. Gordon tried to find Ryan, but couldn't quite. Ball falls clear to Ladlow. Has Reid in support, who's tackled by Raidmey in a strong one.
It's probably the third time that ball has that gone. Oh no, it's just right in front of us here, but that
almost
ball
got a possession there.
Yeah, almost got a possession.
It came straight to us, didn't it?
That's just the pressure by Torquay right there.
Speaking of possessions, I'd like to see how many possessions Wagner and Hussey will have in the TAC tracker that appears in the Addy on a Monday. So the ball's just along the ground here, but picked up there by Gleeson. What can he do? He just hand passes in the air. Plenty of Newcomb players around the ball. Cleared out there on the right foot, but straight to Raidmey, and that's another turnover there for Newcomb. And Raidmey just a short kick to his teammate there in the centre. That is Birchall. Birchall wants just a straight kick to his teammate again, and he just runs it into the 50. Launching kick to no one. Picked up there by Hollands. And Hollands will clear this one out to Ogle.
Corey Ogle at half-back. Multi-talented sportsman, very fine cricketer for Geelong as well. Drives, that's a booming kick too towards Mead Harding, but
it's a good mark.
The kick was always to his disadvantage. Another mark to Raidmey here. He's at full back, hangs one up, has to be good to Bennett, and was nearly 52.
Raidmey all over the ground. He is now in the back.
Short one over the top to Warmald, who thinks about playing on quickly but decides against it. Scoreboard reads 37-6 midway through this second term. Ball's now in the hands of Birchall. Andrew, the backup ruckman this afternoon, kicks down the line towards McMahon, who has good position, couldn't complete the mark, then lays a very strong tackle on Hollands. The umpire's circling, and I reckon he'll ping him.
Yep.
Yes, he does. Free kick going the way of Paul McMahon.
So McMahon here looking for a man. Will he go back into the centre? He's taking his time. And that's just gone right towards us, looking for Deledio.
Perfect kick in the end.
Yep, he grabs that mark. And just another short kick to his teammate there. That is McKay. And Garner there was trying to pick up the ball, but passed there by Holmes. Holmes to Raidmey. Raidmey back to Mackay. And Newcomb put a bit of pressure on in this centre area, but it's a free kick in Newcomb's way.
Reward for Newcomb's effort in tackling pressure at the moment. They lead 10-6.
So Hussey at centre half back switches it to Reid. He's not allowed to go quickly by the man on the mark, so forced to slow things up a little. The kick avoids Warmald, but the ball will go out. Won't go out of play. Mead Harding kept it in. Newcomb still with the footy. It's back to Mead Harding, who swings onto his left foot towards Huntley Mitchell, who had to do the spoiling from behind because Torquay have strength in numbers, and now Raidmey takes a bounce and then 2, and then a 3rd, and then a handball over the top to Birchall at half back. Back to Raidme, he's racking up the possessions. Little one over the top is pretty neat as they inch their way forward. The Tigers, Henderson will mark, just about under pressure from Nolan.
So Henderson looking for men here, and he'll just go back to Birchall, one of the interleague players for Torquay. He just takes it across the face to White. White over to Warmald there, and yeah, they're a bit stuck here. They're going to take it back over. They'll be picked up there by Saker. Saker over to Raimi, another possession for the big man. And once again, just kicking it to Warmald.
It's not the worst idea here by Torquay, just trying to change the tempo, slow it down a little bit.
And Garner now has it. And he has gone to Hopper.
Oh, wow.
That's just out of my sight there, but that's gone out in the full. And it's hit the camera. The camera's taken a whack, I saw.
There we go. So a free kick can be taken by Darcy Nolan right next to our vantage point. We are nice and close. Nolan kicks towards Tom Driver, who got 2 hands to it but couldn't haul it in and then couldn't keep it in either.
Besides that kick by Hopper there, Torquay going at 66% kicking efficiency for the quarter.
And how many inside 50s for Newcomb as well? Because they're starting to pick those ones up in these last 5 to 10 minutes.
They have had the 6. 6 to 12.
6 to 12.
Tossed in. Burke tried to get the hit out. Raidme does pretty well to Holmes. They extracted out Warmald towards Henderson. Had to beat Turnley. Keeps it in right in front of us. The ball stayed in momentarily and then...
Yeah, so 6 inside 50s for Newcomb, and they still haven't scored yet, and they've only had 1 goal for the game.
They haven't had a mark inside 50 as well for the match.
Wow. There we go.
So that's lots of hack kicks forward.
There isn't a big target really either, is there?
No.
At the moment, Burke won it down to Hussey, who was held, and he'll get himself a free kick. James Hussey been very busy, but they've been using him a lot too. Newcomb, he plays on, improves the angle, kicks it centre half forward. Mead Harding was up against it, does a pretty good job in the end.
Well done.
Does really well, and then the kick inside 50 hangs up into the sun. 1-on-1 contest. Can the mark be pulled in? Couldn't quite. Birchall did the spoiling from behind. Huntley Mitchell emerges with it. He was stripped of it. Ball at ground level. Indy Ryan burrowing his way through in there, I should say. Finally extracted by the Tigers, but it might be coming back quickly because Plummer has taken the mark. He does go quickly inside 50, but the kick's got too much on it, and the ball will float out of play.
Now they just wasted opportunity there by Newcomb going inside 50. Did all the work with the intercept mark. Just got to lower the eyes there.
Yeah, there'll be plenty to talk about in the Newcomb rooms at half-time as we edge closer to it. 20 minutes played in this second term. 5-7-37. Torquay leads Newcomb 1-6. Ball thrown back in there. Looked like Gleeson tried to get that one out. Free ball. Henderson with Turnley. And tried to get picked up there by the Torquay player. Henderson tries to kick it off the ground. Grace there. He's trying to get his hands on footy. That will be a ball up. Too many players on it.
No, he's paid a free kick.
They paid a free kick, so we'll go into the hands of Jennings. They all spread out. What can Jennings do with the ball on the right foot? Smacks it down. 1-on-1 there. Looked to get a hit in the head there. It was Ryan, but he gets up fine. And Hussey, just gets smothered there. Hussey attempted to clear that one out. Birchall was the smotherer there. And yeah, Newcomb just holding the ball here, but they've got a bit of free space. Hussey's about 3-on-1 there, and he gets the ball taken off him. Torquay cleared it out straight away. He's looking for Heathcote. He couldn't get his hands on the ball. Burke knocked it away from him instead. Now Burke picks up the pieces, and he clears it in towards Newcomb's 50. No one goes up for the ball there. And still in play there. O'Connell had it. Looking for another man. And picked up there by Smith.
Yeah, so no one able to get a clear possession, but they might be able to make something
there we go.
Of this now. Newcomb back inside 50. The marker was dropped. Hit hard too was Gleeson, but they have all the numbers here, Torquay, as they extracted out of their back half. It was a poor kick and turned over into the hands of Plummer, who has 2 to beat. Can he get his hands clear? Just about does enough. Henderson just woofs it down the line, and in the end a pretty good result for Torquay. The boy out of play at half forward.
As you can see, Newcomb, when getting free kicks are going out of the stoppage, they're trying to use the corridor a lot, trying to create space through the middle and not trying to stay down the line here with this wind. Ball can definitely go outside of the boundary line here.
Be brought in, 37 plays 6, scoreboard been stagnant for a few minutes. Hussey was caught high. And a lot of the ball finds Wagner, those two waxing again, but turned over. Grace swoops in, takes the mark, goes quickly, wobbles one inside, 50 over the head of McMahon. Couldn't be picked up either by Curry, who started well, and the ball out of play, tucked in against the right hand right behind post.
Yeah, so a bit of a lull on the scoreboard, as you were just saying there, Wilbur. 5-7-37 to 1-6. Newcomb still yet to score this term.
Newcomb going at 35% kicking efficiency for the quarter.
There you go. So it's not looking too good for Newcomb at the moment, who's had such a great start, being 3-2 this year with quite a new side.
The only thing they can take out of this first half, though, is that they're only down by 31 points at the moment. Yeah, so it's still all to play for. It is quite a low-scoring game that we're seeing here, thrown in. And it looked like McMahon there was going up for the tap. He did get his hand on the ball there. Newcomb just picking it up straight away in the hands of Wagner. Wagner over to Nolan. And Wagner picks up the ball again, but it looks like he'll be smothered there by Grace, and he'll try to pick up the ball. Attempted to be kicked there by the Torquay player, and that's a hole in the ball call. Play on it is advantage is the call by the umpire. O'Connell has it. He tries to fence off his opponent. Outside the 50 now, looking for Ladlow, who's over there. And is that out of bounds there? Yes, it is. Got lucky then, Newcomb. Just those extra couple of handballs, they didn't need to take that advantage. Could have just taken the ball back and then gone long down the ground, but they were able to anyway.
They have slightly overused the footy by the look of things in this first half, Newcomb. What can they do here to finish it though? Gleeson was bumped but held his ground pretty well. Got clear. Chapman, kick smothered. Might come back in a hurry here. Was caught, and I think it was a high tackle. Then it was to Reid. Jake Reid for Newcomb.
5 apiece of free kicks for both sides.
Goes short to Wagner. But half back. He too goes very short, but swooping in was Henderson, Billy Henderson. Usually a bit closer to goal than this, but good mark nonetheless.
Hasn't applied anything to the scoreboard yet, but no, he's still being effective in that midfield, and he just goes straight to raid me. And he's now looking for what is Birchall there, who started out this week as the emergency. And tried to pick it up there, Warmold, but Birchall grabs it again, and he was looking for Lavelle. Lavelle can get his hands on the ball. Grace has it, and he kicks it before he gets taken down. A couple of players going up there. It's a great mark there. And I didn't see who grabbed that ball. It's Deledio, it is. And Deledio is about 25 metres in front, so first sort of set shot opportunity in this second term. That'll be Deledio taking it.
It's their 40th mark for the quarter, 3rd contested mark, and 5th mark inside 50 for the quarter from 15.
So Deledio straight in front, and that is a behind actually. So disappointing there for the Torquay player, but now scoreboard reads 5-8-38 to 1-6. It'll be cleared out straight away. I think he's looking for his man there right in front of us, Reid. And in fact, it was Burke that went up, the tall man. Reid on the ground trying to pick up the ball. Steele also was trying to grab it, and Lavelle tries to tap it out. Gleeson's now on top of, I think, Steele. Tried to be cleared out there by Ogle, and then in the hands of Burke. Look at all this pressure Torquay's putting on. And eventually it will be cleared out there, but still a lot of hand passing going on. That was a poor decision there. Dawson picks up the pieces. Hand pass to his teammate and then back to Dawson. And then cleared out there by Hopper over to the outer side. McMahon, he grabs his hands on the ball, but it was already touched, so play on is the call. Kicked in by Deledio again, and he finds his teammate all by himself. That's Lavelle.
That stoppage there where you were really angry about their Buzz, rightly so. Newcomb had 8 handballs I counted then, as I was doing the stats. 8 handballs when they could have went long down the line, and that last one was eventually the one that turned it over. And the siren sounds.
So siren sounds here
Torquay going to have a shot.
Yeah, they're going to have a shot. They may as well take it. They can't do anything else. And Lavelle on the siren. Can he extend the margin for Torquay into the halftime break? He does. Fantastic goal by Lavelle. That's his 6th for the season. And the scoreboard will read 6-8-44 to 1-zip Newcomb. So probably the biggest thing to take out of that second term was Newcomb didn't apply anything onto the scoreboard, and Torquay's just extended their margin. And
really put the dagger into Newcomb's hearts.
Yep.
The first half.
Absolutely. So, as Luke rightly says, Newcomb not adding to their quarter-time tally. It's Torquay pretty convincingly at the moment. 44 plays 6 at the main change. This is BFL Round 6. Hope you're enjoying our coverage on the Facebook page. We'll be with you for the second half in a few moments.
In Canada as well, so hello to you all as you start this second half here of BFL football round 6, and Newcomb need to respond. Well, they need to show something at least in this second half.
Yeah, they've been up against it for the better part of 2 quarters. What can they do? They couldn't use what advantage there was with the breeze in that second term. What can they do in the third? Only Andrew Steele's individual brilliant goal is all they have to show for their effort this afternoon so far. What can they do in this second half? Back underway, Torquay and Newcomb. Burke won it down for the power. Henderson shuffles it forward by foot. Wagner loops on over the top to Reed. Has a runner further afield in Ogle. Back to Reed. He's at half back. Drives it towards Mead Harding, who has the sit and takes a good grab. Andrew Mead Harding wheels round on his preferred left boot, chisels it, and it's a lovely, lovely bit of delivery.
Great start by Newcomb to start the second half. Just like I said before, they overused the handball a lot in the first half, and that passage of play there, they had the 2 handballs, and then that last one was able to give the kick to Mead Harding, and he took a great contested mark and was able to go inside 50.
So Steele has won. As I mentioned, this is a chance to kick all the Newcomb score. He's pushed it. Would have been the ideal start for them, but through for a minus score. Narrows the margin to 43 points.
So Torquay's turn to now clear out the ball here. Fair few Newcomb players trying to put him off, waving the hands. It's only in the full back line. Cleared out there by Warmald, who had it. And he looks for his teammate there. Great mark there by Grace. And Grace takes along that outer wing, looking there for Curry, who takes a good chest mark. And yeah, they just slowed down play here. They go back instead over to Dawson, who just takes it over to White. And White's looking for his man on the other side now. That's Mackay. O'Connell on the mark there, and he goes straight to... Oh no, he's still got the ball, rather. And he just takes it back over to his teammate there, Bennett. Bennett to Dawson. And he couldn't hold the ball fully there. Newcomb pick up the pieces. Passed out there to Ogle. Ogle brought it back into O'Connell. He almost had the ball there. He dropped it, but he picked up the pieces. Second inside 50 for Newcomb already. And Mead Harding takes it over to the left side. It's another behind for Newcomb. So 2 quick behinds. And scoreboard reads 6-8-44 to 1-2-8.
Yeah, it's a different ball game if those 2 scoring shots are through for a major. Not to be for the power. Raidney been very, very busy for the home side. Takes a mark in his own defensive half. Just bombs it down the line, but the kick wasn't of any great note, and swooping in was Nolan for Newcomb. Speaking of busy, he's been exactly that too. Goes towards Steele, who overran the footy. Numbers with Torquay. Doing a great job was Mackay off half-back. They swing it with hands. Raidney back into Pearson. Gleeson, they're working in a phone box. Gleeson caught, holding the footy. Good tackle, good pressure. This is Corey Ogle for Newcomb. Drives it. as deep as he can. Mead Harding. Can he taking the mark? No, says the umpire. Too many hands around it. Bennett. They have a bit of time to clear Torquay, and they do, but they drive it out to the two big fellas. But the ball nearly beat them all. Good contest right in front of us. Reed comes in late. Tries to shark it for the power. I think we'll have a ball up after all that, and we do.
Gee, Jennings is getting a bit all over the ball. He was trying to take it across the line. Umpire comes in to try and settle things down. And it'll be Reed for Torquay and Burke going up. Reed gets his hand on the footy, goes straight down. Gleeson tries to pick up the pieces. Great handball there to Birchall. And holding the ball call, and it was great tackle there. Oh,
might get 50.
Yeah, Birchall, there was a trip there. I saw that with his hand. Plummer. And yeah, Plummer's gone to the ground, but he will take the 50 metres. And let's see, he quickly progresses into the inside 50, but it looks like he's going to look for a man as the sun beams out. So
it's a short 50 metre.
Yeah.
It's about 20 metres.
And a lot of players went up there. Ramey was up in that. Players knocked to the ground. Picked up on the outer side by Bennett, who keeps it in. And a lot of players around here, but the ball's taken over the line. Gordon was wrapping one of the Torquay players around.
Pressure's been spot on here from Newcomb's forward pressure here. 5 tackles for the quarter, and Torquay can't seem to get it out of their back half with Newcomb 7 inside 50s.
A bit more of a promising start here for Newcomb as well, even though it's only 2 behinds. Just showing a bit more presence around the ball and in their inside 50.
Umpire thought about blowing his whistle. He's skirting the edges here, but crosses the arms and will throw it up. We've just gone 5 minutes in this third term, thanks to Red Onion and Harvey Norman. Palmed down by Reed to no great advantage. Ogle burrowing in there for Newcomb. It's a bit of a rugby scrum at the moment, and no one can get it out. Hopper.
The sun's blaring out, the clouds are broken, and a fair few players struggling to see the ball, especially in the backline area.
Tossed down, the ball trickles towards goal, but safely rushed through in the end ahead of Mead Harding and through.
Newcomb would have been happy. Newcomb would have been happy with that until they conceded that behind there.
Yeah,
able to keep it in their forward 50.
True, there were no clear exits. Gleeson goes very short, and he'll get the little 1-2 as well as he streams out of his back half. Drives it towards Heathcote, who presents a nice pair of hands on centre wing.
Nice little set play there from Gleeson.
Looks up but doesn't see a lot he likes, so he just holds the footy, assessing the options, and in the end just drives it down the line towards McMahon. It's always a pretty good option. Had 2 to beat and did a pretty good job of it as well. Nearly got a free kick for in the back too. They emerge with it, falls towards Henderson. Raidme pops up with it, and the squaring kick is lovely to Douglas, who dropped one he probably should have taken in the end. Ogle, they work it out by hands. Wagner has a couple to beat, had to be quick, he was. Ryan's handball was over the top to Reed. Ryan gets it back. They do keep it in just. That's an interesting kick. Squaring ball. Hussey had a busy first half. He handballs Wagner into all sorts of trouble. And the ball will be tossed up on the paint of 50.
Back to the first half there with the handballs.
Yep.
9 handballs for the quarter now. Newcomb and lots of them in their defensive half.
So they both go up. Look to be Burke that got the hands on the footy. Umpires called for a free kick, I believe, in Newcomb's favour, and it will be picked up by Wagner. He's had a fair bit of ball, as we've said today. And he just does a short kick to his teammate on his left side in Turnley, Jackson Turnley. And he will go to the right side now. And he looks for Burke again. The big man, he goes up, couldn't get his hands on the ball. On the deck, picked up there by Gleeson. He's been everywhere so far in his third term. Straight over to the Newcomb player who's just been taken to the ground, and it'll be a ball up. And
so it'll be tossed up about 70 around from home. Ball left half forward. Reed reaches over the top, did a good job. Lots of bodies falling around it. Garner dumps it inside 50, but a good grab by Turnley, nudging Henderson out of the way. He's done a pretty good job, and Billy Henderson too today. Not a man who's unfamiliar with the goals, Billy Henderson, who Turnley drives it down the line. Strong fist coming from Hopper and Warmald. Ball out of play. Sorry, mate, go on.
Sorry, Torquay starting to get on top here in the clearances. They lead by 3 and they've got up to the third inside 50 for the quarter.
So ball thrown back in. Burke tries to get 2 hands on the ball, taps it to the ground. Try to get cleared out there by Reed, and will that go out of bounds on the full? Yes, it will. So that will go into Torquay's hands straight away. Waste opportunity there by the Power. And it will be Birchall with the ball in hand. And it's play on because he just walked straight off his mark there. Short kick to Gleeson in the sun, but back to Birchall again. Back to Gleeson. And he'll look for a man. Birchall hand passes again, so a lot of one-on-one play. 1-2 play and kicks straight into the 50 there. But Newcomb just picking up the ball once again. That looked to be Turnley as well with the long sleeves. And looked to be almost smothered, and it'll be taken across the line. Yes, it is out of bounds.
Good composure there from Turnley. He was under pressure and was able to just display a heap of time when he had the football in a hard sort of time there under pressure.
So Turnley's been hot in this third term.
Brought back in by the boundary umpire. McMahon doing the ruck duties for Torquay this time. Hussey emerges with it for Newcomb. Has some support with Plummer, but it's driven back inside 50 by Torquay. And the mark, safe mark taken. No. Free kick is paid against Callum Curry. He's not happy with the decision, but has to cop it on the last line of defence. Newcomb escape for now. Driven out of there, back half to half back. Early ride, and it'll be a free kick. That's all sorts of trouble. Couldn't quite see
that's the man. Lavelle there with the ball.
So we'll take the free kick.
It's Torquay's first free kick for the quarter.
How many free kicks for the game?
Let me get that up. 11 free kicks for Torquay, 13.
Lavelle drives it to the square and it's gone all the way through.
It's called a touch. There was a couple of players just before it, or just after it bounced that it went over, and I reckon it might have slipped one of their fingertips. So you said 11 free kicks for Torquay. And how many for Newcomb? Do you know?
13.
13. So there you go. As Newcomb hold possession of the ball, they clear it out of their 50, looking for Ryan. He couldn't get up, but the ball bounces high and he just taps it. Plenty of Torquay players around the ball. McMahon has it. Looks for Reed, the big man. Passes it straight over to Holmes, that was. And then quick chip into the middle. One-on-one play here. Chapman has it. He just launches into his 50. I believe that was Heathcote going up there, but he couldn't get his hands on the ball. And Hopper there, by the looks of it, was trying to get it to Gleeson's. Lavelle, well, he almost had it. He got pushed to the ground. Gleeson's lurking around the ball, but Newcomb just pick it up again. Short kick there to Turnley, who've, as we've said, been hot in that back line, and he's got the ball once again in the long sleeves. Sun in his eyes, so he's just looking for a man. He's going to go long here on his right side towards us. Looking for Smith. One-on-one there. Ramey was involved, but he got brought to the ground, and Smith, he's just kicked that one off the ground out in the full. Does it have deliberate calls in the BFL?
Deliberate calls everywhere, mate.
Oh, there you go, but...
Chipped in board to Holmes. Just rocking the salt and pepper, which I like. Short ball to Henderson. He squares it up.
It's a great kick.
It is a good kick. It might open the field up here as White from centre half back drives it inside 50. McMahon had 2 hands to it. Look at Gleeson just swooping in. It was a lovely gather, and the shot on goal slams into the post. That would have been something special from Dom Gleeson.
Would have definitely been a Harvey Norman highlight.
So 6-10-46. Torquay lead Newcomb 1-3-9. They've had 3 behind so far in his second term. Scoreless in its 3 behinds in his third term. Scoreless in the second term, I should say. And a couple of short kicks there. Wagner had the ball, and back in their goal square, Nolan picks it up. And Newcomb, struggling to get it out of this half of the field here. They're just doing short kicks. Plenty of pressure from Torquay. Nolan has the ball, and he sort of runs to his left side. Passes over to his teammate, who will progress the ball even more. Floppy. There was a flop of a kick there, but Newcomb just picking up these pieces, not in the best fashion, though. On the outer side, Smith has the ball. And it just hits the deck, but a quick turnover there, straight to Torquay, who just launch it quickly back into their 50. Henderson goes up. Great mark there by Henderson. And this will be his first set shot, well, first attempt at a goal for the day.
They were due for a mark inside 50 Torquay. That's their first one after 9 entries. Just lots of good forward pressure from the Torquay forwards, putting Newcomb under pressure with short kicks and little handballs, and they eventually were able to create an opportunity for a goal here.
It's like you were saying before, Josh. Turnley's been very good on Henderson today, and Henderson goes in, and that will be a goal for Henderson. He's first for the game, and
First for the quarter.
First for the quarter. Oh, this is his second. Sorry about that. I must have missed that previous one, but that will be his 9th for the season. So fantastic play there by Henderson, and generally Torquay in that last passage of play there. Once again, Newcomb are struggling to find a response, and it's slipping out of their hands even more.
Took them 13.5 minutes, but Torquay eventually got their first goal, and funnily enough, Newcomb haven't kicked a goal yet in this quarter, so Torquay leading in opportunities to kick goals here.
Newcomb haven't kicked a goal since the first term. Yeah,
and that was midway through the first term too, wasn't it? So, long time between drinks for the Power. They'll keep searching. Geez, it looked like Ogle was caught high, but wasn't. And as soon as he wasn't, I thought he was going to be ping-folding the ball in the end, but wasn't. He storms up and asks the umpire why it wasn't paid. So 7:10:52 to 1:39. Third term. We've played 14.5 minutes. There's a whistle going the way of Holmes and Torquay. In the middle of the ground, kicks to half forward, sun right in the eyes of Heathcote, but he was impeded in anyway, earned himself a free kick at right half forward.
I reckon Heathcote should go for this. He's already had 1 goal, 1 for today. 12 goals this season, and he leads Torquay's goal kicking.
He'll take his best kick out.
He puts the arm up to signal that he is going for goal. He'll have to kick it the better part of 50 metres. The man on the mark's probably just outside.
I reckon he can do this. I have some faith in him.
Jack Heathcote. He's a nice kick of the footy, and it's narrow. Through for a minor score. 1 goal, 3 for him this afternoon.
There you go. So 7-11-53 to Newcomb, 139, a 44-point margin on the scoreboard there. And 1-on-1 there between Raidme and what looks to be McDonald. And McMahon will pick up the ball here. So once again, the ball's in Torquay's favour. He looks for a man short kick just over the top of the man on the mark. And he picks it up again. Holmes had it there. He just kicks along the line straight to Raidme, who was by himself. Great mark there. And he progresses the ball forward inside 50, going for goal. Fantastic goal there by Raidme, the big man.
Definitely a Harvey Norman highlight there, Buzz.
Most definitely. And just Torquay extend their margin even more now. 50 points it is. That'll be Raidme's 4th goal as well for the year, and he's played
well on the wing today.
Yeah, he has, and he's also been strong in the back line, as we saw in that second term. Now he gets himself a goal.
Yeah, still going strong. Ben Raidme feels like he's been around a long time. A South Barham Premiership player, of course, in the GFL.
He'll be playing Interleague as well this year with 3 other of his teammates, Birchall, Henderson and McMahon.
Yeah, the squad will be announced. The final team will be announced Tuesday or Wednesday, we believe. So keep your eyes peeled for that during the week, as will the GFL team. We're back in the middle here at McCartney Oval, and a free kick's been plucked out, going the way of Andrew Birchall for Torquay. He has many either side of him if he wants to use them, but ignores that. His kick was partially smothered by Ogle. The ball teeters near the edge of the boundary and in fact beats everyone. Now the players just repeating that score. 8-11-59 to 139. 50-point margin to Torquay. We've played 17.5 minutes, third term, thanks to Red Onion and Harvey Norman.
This can put a dent into Newcomb's percentage, which is already low despite having more wins than losses this year. So they've had a couple of close games, so you can already tell by that. But this game's not looking too good for Newcomb, and hopefully they can bounce back from this. Like I said at the start of the game, Newcomb's lost their last 2 games to Amos and Motta, so they've had a tough run, Newcomb, these last 3 weeks. And they just hold possession here in their half-back line. Looking for men Still quite congested on that outer side. Mark there by Hollands. Haven't seen much of today. And yes, the sun is in their eyes, so the sun has broken out from the cloud, so it's making it difficult for Newcomb. And he's looking there for Burke. He couldn't get his hands on it. Picked up straight away there by Nolan. And he's trying to clear it out. Yes, he does. Oh, great mark there by Ladlow. He almost had a collision with his teammate. He'll quickly get rid of the ball, take it to the left side.
Jeez. Dangerous.
Yeah, it is quite dangerous. And it's just knocked out there by Warmold. And yeah, Torquay just having that momentum again. Gleeson has the ball, or he drops it there. And that will be a hole in the ball call. Newcomb will pick it up.
That's good pressure. Nolan drives it back inside 50 and the mark taken by Steele. And he looks inboard. He has a runner wide and the kick goes over his head at Miss McDonald. Can you believe that? Another chance goes begging and Raidme wraps him up in a strong tackle.
Great tackle.
Ben Raidme. No prisoners there. The umpire doesn't ping McDonald, but the ball will be thrown up. So a couple of interesting options from Newcomb.
I would have thought Steele would have went for that one on that outer side, but he's
absolutely
tried to progress it.
So it'll be tossed up. Favours Burke, who goes up uncontested in the end. Wagner was caught high, but the umpire might have been blindsided. I think he was too. At his back to, or Wagner at his back to the umpire, I should say.
Newcomb need to get something out of this one here. Almost 20 minutes playing this third term. It's gone very quickly. Burke goes up, great tap there, straight to his teammate, passed over to O'Connell, and he tries to get around Raimi, passes behind to Huntley Mitchell, and that's just taken out of bounds. And
Wilby, you're just shaking your head there, mate. I think we're thinking the same thing.
There was just that last opportunity there that O'Connell could have kicked forward and then just decided to handball behind him to his own teammate. It's just gone out of bounds. They could have went inside 50.
They are very handball happy. I think Newcomb Hussey emerges with it, but Ogle was caught immediately. Umpire folds the arms and we'll do it all again. So the margin's sitting at 50 points. Torquay's way. Newcomb have not kicked a goal since midway through the opening quarter. Thanks to Andrew Steele. They started this third term brightly with a couple of behinds, but couldn't convert on the scoreboard. Hussey was worked away from it. Wagner comes in late and the umpire's paid it, I reckon. I'm not sure where he's pulled it from or what that signal is, Will, but holding the ball he is. So Ogle from a long way out heads towards Steele, who's the lone target really. And Thumb clearing out of play.
Yeah, I think Torquay will be very happy with just what's going on at the moment, even though it's just in this pocket for Newcomb. I reckon they'll be happy with what they're doing here in terms of defence.
Torquay +1 inside 50s for the quarter. Suggests that Newcomb have had quite a good quarter, but they still
no goal.
Oh no, that's exactly right.
Wagner was strongly tackled, still in his own forward 50. So 21 and a half gone in this third term. Might not be a long quarter due to a lack of action. Hussey tries to find a way through, as does Ogle, but he's caught quickly. Gets his handball clear. And the ball now out of play again.
Newcomb got one spare behind it. It's Burke here that's by himself, just in case Torquay does clear out that ball straight away like we've seen. But yeah, Newcomb, they've got to do something now, otherwise running out of chances. But already time's ticking away. And tapped out there along, but yeah, straight away Torquay picking up the possession. Birchall has the ball on his left foot. He's looking for a teammate, and it's Mark there. And just progress straight away to Raimi, who's by himself. It'll be 1-on-2. Raimi trying to pick up this ball. He's by himself now. Great hand pass over, looking for Bennett. And also in there is Saker. But yeah, Newcomb just launch it back in towards their 50. 1-on-1 here. Birchall for Torquay goes up. And they'll go across the line from boundary. So what do we make of this, boys? It's been a bit of a lull on the scoreboard in these last 5 minutes, but we can just see the struggle and Newcomb are having at the moment.
Yeah, it's certainly not the last 10 minutes. You wouldn't be showing anyone, Will, and saying how good's the footy. It's not pretty at the moment, but Torquay are doing enough. Anything off the stat sheet Will, that's pretty glaring at the moment?
Not entirely. It's a draw for inside 50s. You'd probably be a bit surprised considering Torquay have had the 5 scoring shots to Newcomb's 3. Newcomb are +4 in handballs, which could say that I guess they've overused the handball quite a lot still in this quarter and have turned it over, which has caused Torquay to catch up in inside 50s and goals for the quarter because it was all Newcomb to start the game. Tackling pressure though has been good from Newcomb. They lead by 3 for the quarter.
Ball was tossed back in. Hussey went without it for Newcomb. Strong tackle laid by Gordon, who's been in and under all afternoon for the Power, but another ball up. Plenty of them. Good thing you aren't recording them, Wilbur. You'd get a bit of arthritis in the index finger, I think. You're just tapping away the plus sign there. The ball near the boundary. Wagner went without it. Some good work by Huntley Mitchell, but he couldn't keep it in. And we'll do it all again. 50 points is the margin. 8-11-59. Torquay, Newcomb 139. We've played 24 minutes in this third quarter.
Yeah, I think Torquay have just sort of worked out. Newcomb, like you were saying, Wilbur, they had a good start, but Torquay just worked it out quickly. Ball's tapped back in. Wagner had it, and Newcomb just progressed it towards their goal square, but just great mark there straight away by Birchall. Down back. And he should go to his left side, not as congested over there. Might find a man. And he's looking there for Saker. 1-on-1, oh, that goes across the line, but that might be a throw-in because it is touched on the hand.
Another stat, I guess, Buzz, that sort of come out to me is it's 2-2 for marks inside 50 for both sides, but with the opportunities limited for Newcomb to go inside 50, you'd feel they need to lower their eyes and be able to hit a target inside 50.
And really, I cannot remember a time where they have kicked to anyone other than Steele and Mead Harding. Really, they've been the 2 options all day, and that's it. Which would explain their lack of scoring. Absolutely. Reid, Wagner and Hussey, 3 keys for the Power inside 50. Mead Harding, that man I mentioned, got his handball clear, but was intercepted by Warrell, who's been good. Birchall on his non-preferred side. It's a nice kick to the advantage of Chapman, who has a bit of acreage to expose. Outer wing, driving kick towards the teeth of goal. The ball doesn't favour any Torquay players. Nolan dribbles one along the line. Heathcote from the boundary.
Umpire's called saying here, and it'll be a free kick to Newcomb.
Did that go through?
I think it went to the right side, I thought.
Yep. It was definitely tight.
And I don't even think it was behind if it was going to be anything, but it's going to go back to Newcomb here.
After all that forward pressure that Newcomb did.
Yeah, look how easy it comes out.
So easily it came out just like that.
Yeah, I know, Newcomb were too ready to score on something, and Torquay was like, nah, we'll run this one out.
It's just the sharking, as Kirsch always says. If he's listening.
Don't think he will be, Wilbur. No. Probably on duty.
North Melbourne, you would have thought?
Yep, I would imagine so. No, North Melbourne he's at now.
North Melbourne.
You'll be able to hear Matt alongside plenty of others next weekend, including you two as well. For Interleague, we've got female footy. The inaugural AFL Barwon female representative team are playing at Queen's Park alongside the BFL and GDFL, and then the GFL and Northern Footy League. All in the one day, all in one place, all on AFL Barwon Facebook page all day. So as soon as you voted in the morning, Will, you're probably not old enough yet, but just jump on the stream and you'll be able to hear everything that's going on. Newcomb extract this in the meantime with Reid at half-back, finds a way through. Did well, over the top to Ryan. He has Wagner in support, who goes back to Indy Ryan. Caresses one down the line, clever kick.
It's a lot better than just as passage play there.
Gordon, over the top, has O'Connell, who can run. He's corralled by Hopper. Has support, Ladlow, back to O'Connell. Misses Hussey. Wagner, back to Hussey. Can straighten up, and he just pulls it for a behind.
Still a few too many handballs there, even though Newcomb were able to get a point out of that. I thought, like we've been saying, the few too many handballs.
Ladlow had to hit his kick inside 50 there.
Yeah, so Warmold clears it out straight to Gleeson. Great mark there. He just hands it off to Bennett. Just progressing on that outer wing as they've done for most of the day today. McMahon has the ball on the outer wing. He looks for a man. Long kick just outside the 50-metre arc. Looking for Ray Mee. He couldn't get up there. But running through there straight away, Heathcote. He just runs through all of his players. And there's a great goal there by Heathcote. He ran through about 3 opponents and just gets his third goal of the day. No, second goal of the day. Is it? Yeah, second goal. Fantastic there from Heathcote. And it's just...
And there's a whistle too. It's against Logan Wagner, I think, here. So they're going to get another kick.
Another kick as well.
Just some discipline.
Looks like it, and he's storming over to Ben Raidme here. We'll just keep our eyes on this. He doesn't look too happy.
I've got the... Oh, yes, so... Has that been...
Yeah, so it's be from the free kick from the centre circle.
From the centre circle, there we go. So, Holmes gets in there. Lavelle picks up the ball. McMahon trying to get his hands on it. One-on-one there with McDonald from Newcomb. Taken out to the outer side, and that just rolls out of bounds. So that was definitely a goal there, was it? So it was just a quick free kick. Okay, righto.
Kick straight after was paid.
Scoreline reads 9-11-65 in Torquay's favour to Newcomb. 1-4-10. Still no goal from the Power since the midway of the first term.
Tossed in. Bit of a shallow one. Favours McMahon and Gleeson. Just an inside-out ball from the stoppage, but it sails across the face and out of play. Pretty good result for Torquay.
Just to talk about Wagner there, just one of the mature sort of players. We do have some young footballers here, and just not setting the right example for some of the young boys there. Yep. Just with that free kick, just some discipline.
Fair call, Wilbur. To be tossed in, 20 around from home for Torquay. McMahon, a lovely tap. That would have been straight out of the textbook. Gleeson can snap around the body and kick the behind.
Oh.
Looked like a goal from here, but the umpire was quick to signal it, and it's right on the 3/4 time siren. It's Torquay dominant. 9 goals. I think that'll change to 12. 66. Newcomb 1-4-10 at the final change. It's all the home side. Dominant so far. We'll be back in a few minutes with the final term. So, all in readiness then for this final term. Luke, what are the Power trying to get out of this final term?
They're just got to show something so they can talk about it during the week. Next week they play... Well, next week is obviously the interleague break, but their next opponent is Barwon Heads at Barwon Heads, so it's quite tough for them. And umpires, they're just waiting for a couple of people to get off the ground here. Just looking at the weather over to the right side, there's some very dark clouds coming in, so we'll see if there's a bit of rain in this final term. We might get away with it. It's definitely got a bit colder here as well. The sun was out in the third term. There was a bit of rain at the start of the third term as well during the half-time break. And the ball goes up now. So Reed and Hollands in the middle. Gleeson picks it up. He just runs through 2 opponents, bounces the ball as well. He's getting chased down there. He gets a kick there in time. Looking for a couple of opponents, a lot of players around it. McMahon jumps up and grabs it. He passes over to his teammate and he clears it straight in. And we've got Deledio there who has the ball, but it's just going to be picked up by Turnley, who's been strong enough to hit the post. So Torquay get another behind. 9-13, 67 to 1-4-10. 57-point lead to Torquay.
Brought back in quickly to Wagner. He's had plenty of the footy, but probably hasn't damaged Torquay at any stage. Quick ball, Nolan, he has it a lot of the ball. Drives it. Mead Harding has had 2 against him for most of the day, really. Raimi paddled it forward only as far as Ogle. Reed has been pretty good for the Power. Down the line, good mark going back with the flight was Saker.
So Saker takes along to the left side there. And picked up there by the looks of his teammate, and it's just on the outer wing. Torquay holding possession, looking for teammate Dawson, who takes the mark. And just gone into the centre bit there. Lavelle picks up the ball. Quick pass there to Reed. Reed to his right side to Raimi. Raimi a short hand pass. And Lavelle takes the mark again about just right in front of us here. So he's looking for a couple of men. There's plenty in the 50. Fairfield will go up here again. A couple of Newcomb players get their fist in. McMahon's chasing. He's trying to grab the ball. Quick hand pass out to no one there. And straight away it's picked up by Garner. Garner to Gleeson. Gleeson gets his hands, passes it over to the outer side. And just kicked in towards the Torquay goal. McMahon goes up. Great punch there by Jennings for Newcomb. Still in play. Jennings passes it over to Parrish. And, he's just taking it over the line. No, like, what's the point? Seriously.
Wow.
You can nearly pin him for that. There was literally no pressure there.
He just stood there. He was just waiting.
That was anyway, it's another 3 points for Torquay. 9-14, 68 to 1-4-10.
If you're ever going to pay that rule, that's probably the time, isn't it? Like it's not going to hurt the game. He's just literally turned around and waited for anyone to come there. Oh, jeez, up high was O'Connell.
O'Connell almost got up there. Buzz got a bit excited over that. It was right in front of us, but
he had a good sit too.
He
didn't extend the hands.
Look, you're right there, Buzz. They did implement that rule because of the 08 grand final.
But you never see it paid now, do you? And
no.
that is literally what it was brought in for, I reckon.
Yep.
Anyway, brought in. Doesn't matter. Oh, that was a hit out straight to a Falcon. Ladlow. Reed. Kick to half forward. Mead Harding was beaten to the punch. Position A was Turnley. Takes a mark at half back, who's probably hold his head high. Yep, absolutely. He's got Reed in front of us demanding the footy, but he won't get it.
Gee, they're all calling for it, and it's just a short hand pass.
He still might get it here, but the kick misses Huntley Mitchell. It still might work out for the Power. Reed still on if he wants. A chiselling ball inboard from Smith was too hot for his man. Now it's a 2-on-2 through the middle of the ground. It's probably a throw against McMahon and is paid. And will go the way of Nathan McDonald.
Yeah, there's like we just saw just before there was too many Newcomb players calling for the ball, and it made him panic.
Moving.
Yeah.
None of them were moving.
Yes, none of them were moving as well. So still lucky to hold possession here, and it's now been picked up by the Newcomb player on the outer side in the long sleeves.
They've had 46 tackles for the game, plus 9 in that department. So credit to Newcomb. That's something they can hold their heads high in, and it's given them an opportunity to have a goal here. So
Huntley Mitchell with the ball. Let's see what he can do, if he can apply anything to the scoreboard. Just inside the 50-metre arc. It's a nice long kick, but it's gone to the left side, and that will be behind. 1-5-11 for Newcomb this game. They're still yet to kick a goal since the first term. We've said that for most of the game now. We're waiting for something from Newcomb. Torquay 9-14, 68.
Brought back in by Torquay to Reed. He's been pretty good in the ruck. He's got better as the day's gone on, I think, against Burke.
It's been a good matchup.
He kicks from half-back. That's a funny-looking helicopter, but mark wasn't paid. Must have been touched. Hopper. Ogle emerges with it. Smith inboard to Huntley Mitchell, who has some support with him if he can use it. Over the top, Hussey from 65. Lovely kick. Beautiful delivery, and finds the chest of O'Connell.
That's what they signed him up for. Just to be able to put those lace-out kicks inside 50 and just to lower the eyes, which they haven't really been able to do this match.
So O'Connell, 4 goals so far this season from his 5 games, and he's still quite far out, so I'm not too sure about his chances here. Haven't seen him go for a set shot though, so what can he do? Once again, a long bombing ball.
Straight to
that is a goal. Fantastic for Newcomb. That's their 2nd goal of the game. First one for O'Connell today. That will be his 5th goal as well for the season. And when the scoreboard comes back, I'll get you the margin. 2 goals, 5 for Newcomb. I just wanted to talk about, boys, who has the worst run for the next 5 weeks, 4 rounds, because interleague break next week. So Torquay is at Queenscliff, then they're at Ocean Grove, so they're on the road for the next 2 weeks, while Newcomb are at Barwon Heads, and they verse Drysdale at home. What do you think, guys?
Sounds tough, that's for sure. For Newcomb, doesn't get any easier by the sounds of it after interleague. Holmes emerges with it. Kick to centre half forward is neat enough. Looping handball towards Gleeson evades him. He's confronted by 2 and get a free kick for a high tackle.
Ogle and Hollands involved in that tackle on Gleeson. Holmes clears the ball straight away to Grace. He's kicked the goal today. It's a bit far out though. That mark was just on the 50-metre line. Lots of players running around. Deledio was calling for it. And Grace this one goes high in the air, so there'll be a mark needed. Just pops along the back. Picked up there by Reed. He keeps it in. And then Hussey Bombs it out, but just a quick turnover there to Bennett for Torquay, and he's looking for Gleeson all by himself. Fantastic mark from Gleeson, and he'll look to take this one.
Gives it off.
Oh, he's giving it off to Ramey by himself. Oh, big bump there, but that is a fantastic goal for Ramey. And that will be his 2nd for the game and 5th for the season. They're all getting around him there, so Torquay just looking to calm down a bit now with this one in the bag. And the margin has extended even more.
After that Newcomb goal, you sort of felt they might create some energy for him to be able to go and get the next one, get a back-to-back goal, but unfortunately Ramey was able to get that goal from Gleeson, and sort of hurts Newcomb here, and they go back to where they started.
So 10-14, 74 to 2-5-17, thanks to Harvey Norman and Red Onion. 8 minutes gone in this final term. Man down in the middle of the ground, we'll keep an eye on that. Hussey emerges with it in the meantime. Wagner over the top to Ogle, who rolls his ankle.
Just quickly, that's Holmes in the middle there, so I'll keep an eye on him.
Ogle has the footy. Goes very short. That's a poor ball to Wagner. Really poor. He looks a bit sore on that ankle too. Henderson was a man who came in. Another poor kick though. Jennings in front of McMahon takes the mark. Wagner wants it, finds it now. Ball with Hollins. Just hangs it up. Another poor kick though. To no great advantage. It was heading towards India Ryan, but he was outnumbered. Kick wide to Bennett at half-back. Ramey for what feels like possession 50. Takes the mark on this broadcast wing. Chips it up. Wagner does a good job. Comes in and takes the mark.
So Wagner, short kick to his teammate there of Hussey, who was involved with the bump with Holmes. Holmes wasn't too happy with him, but Wagner just picks up the ball again. Now it was almost high. Plummer had he passed it over to Huntley Mitchell by the looks of it, but just picked up straight away there by the Torquay player of Mackay. He runs it straight into their 50, looking there for Deledio, and great mark there on his opponent, which was Nolan. And Deledio now has a chance to line up for goal. He's had one behind today.
They're going at 50%. Torquay this quarter for marks inside 50. They've had the 3 and they've had 6 inside 50s for the quarter.
Torquay bringing this one home. Deledio, brother of Brett, Richmond superstar. He'll take this one in on the right foot. Fantastic goal there by Deledio. His first for the game. And the scoreboard reads 11-14-80 to 2-5-17 for Newcomb. 63-point margin, for anyone wanting to know that. And just looking at some other scores, I was just checking what the ladder position would be like after this game. According to these live scores, Barwon Head's only beating Drysdale by 3 points at Drysdale.
Jeez, that could go either way still.
Yep, 5-9-39 to 5-6-36. Mottawarri quite strong over Port Arlington, 9-19-73 to 2-2-14. So just looking at that Barwon Heads result, that could affect the ladder and bring Torquay level with Barwon Heads.
So back in the middle, Burke roves his own hit out really in the end. Did a good job. Hussey goes short to Wagner. We've called those names in unison a few times today. Short ball's good to Hollins. Kick smothered though. Well done by Holmes, who looks to have recovered pretty quickly. Huntley Mitchell bounces up with it, but coughs up the handball. And look at the numbers just stream forward for Torquay. A little bit of candy was delightful. Sent him into the hot dog stand, and the kick inside 50. Heathcote put one hand up. He shovels it forward. Deledio, he's got a man over the top of him, get it there. Reed did a good job. Came off McMahon and forced
That's
the
a bird
turnover.
by Reed. Had to cut that off with the hands. Was able to stop it through the mid-air and stop a goal.
And I was just watching McMahon there. He could have easily run into that ball, but he stepped back just in case he wanted to pass it over and be by himself. Tap out there by Burke, and Newcomb gained possession again, cleared out of Torquay's 50. 1-on-1 here, foot race going to the inner boundary, and it's just thrown over the line there. It was in the hands of Mead Harding briefly. Oh, it's still in play rather, sorry about that. And marked there by Garner for Torquay. Straight a small hand pass to Ramey, and he's just looking for Henderson. Great mark there by Henderson. There was 2 players on him essentially, and he's just taking that one. And now he's going to be going for his third goal of the game. Probably about 45 metres out here. And Henderson can kick this with his goal-kicking experience. He's had 9 goals so far this season. And he strolls in. Nice kick there, very high, and that's going to go through over the umpire's hat. Fantastic goal there by Henderson. Scoreboard reads 12-14-86 to 2-5-17. Wilbur, you going to say something?
He's just played really well.
Yeah.
Henderson, he's been a real presence in that forward half for the Torquay Tigers, and Newcomb Power really struggling to nullify his effect in that forward half.
So Torquay goal kickers really quickly. Henderson with the 3, Radney, McMahon and Heathcote all with 2. Tyler Lavelle in the 18 with 1, alongside Matt Deledio, who kicked the previous goal for Torquay, and Tom Grace.
Yeah, the margin probably just correcting itself here. I think Torquay getting there just rewards Newcomb have hung on for dear life, really, but margin really starting to blow out now. Strong tackle by Grace on Hussey, not letting him wriggle clear.
It's a young sort of fella as well, Grace. That's why I heard the crowd and players getting around him, especially on a big player.
Be tossed up again. Indy Ryan having a spell in the ruck by the look of things for Newcomb, beaten to it by Birchall. Reid just puts it on the boot quickly.
Great mark.
Wonderful diving mark. That was clever by Jesse White. He's been steadfast in the back half this afternoon. He looks up, he kicks from centre half back. Reid has front position and takes a good grab in front of the oncoming Henderson. He can hold his head high, Jake Reid, when he goes home tonight. Squaring kick is nice too to Ryan. In the middle of the ground. Kicks high inside 50. Numbers were wanted for Newcomb, but it looks like Torquay will merge with it. Chapman. Look at the toe on him, but he just needs to learn how to bounce the ball well. When you can run, you just got to learn how to bounce it. You know about that?
Yep.
Kick inboard is nice. Mopped up well and found Garner.
Radney on the inner side. He has a short kick to his teammate there, progressing forward. Once again in Torquay's inside 50. Oh, great mark there. That was attempted by Driver. And he will take the mark in the end. Haven't heard much. Oh, that was a Driver. Sorry, that was Parrish. Apologies about that. And short hand pass here to Ladlow. Over to Hussey. Hussey looking for his man in the pocket there. That's O'Connell. He'll just be waiting for his men to progress into the 50. Looking there for Ladlow again. He couldn't get his hands on the ball. Ramey just picks it up straight away. Over to Birchall. 1-on-1 here. Walmwood jumps to the ground. And umpire will call for the ball. So it's sort of been a margin that's just been slowly relishing. There wasn't an early blowout, we could say, by Torquay. But it's just slowly relishing this margin, and at least it's not going to be like 100 points, which we've seen in our last 2 broadcasted games.
Oh, don't speak too soon.
Okay, right.
They might pile it on, but it is looking unlikely for the time being. Parrish has got good position here, worried out of it by Heathcote, who might emerge with it still. Strong tackle on Nolan. Garner emerges with it from 60. Long high ball comes to ground level. Jennings does well towards Turnley. Is happy to see it over.
Has Heathcote kicked a goal, guys?
He has. He's kicked 2.
2, mate.
Fair.
So 12-15-87 to 2-5.
No, he hasn't kicked one. Heathcote. Sorry,
yep.
2. Yeah.
Yes, he has had 2.
Sorry, looking in the wrong column.
That's all right. 12-5-87 to 2-5-17, 70-point margin. Short kick there by Wagner. And looking there for Smith. He has to quickly handball it just straight away to Lavelle. Quick turnover there in the hands of Heathcote. Heathcote takes it towards goal, looking for Oh, great mark there by Henderson. He was barely watching the ball. And that's been one of the great one-on-ones today between Henderson and Turnley. And Henderson just kicks backwards to Holmes. Umpire, what's he saying? Oh, he wants to give it back to Henderson. I reckon Henderson should just go for this one.
Left foot kick though, going to be hard. He had a similar shot just a little bit further out last time, but comes in and
right foot. Goal. Great goal there by Henderson. That's his 4th for the game. He's leading the goal kicking today. 11th for the season. He'd be almost leading the Torquay goal kicking. I believe Heathcote's up there with McMahon. And no players from either side featuring in the top 5 for goals this year in the league, although both of them have had a pretty topsy-turvy start to the season. So margin now up to 76 points. So it starts to head into the afternoon, into the evening as well, here at Torquay at McCartney Oval. Ball will go up between Reid and his opponent. Quickly picked up there by Torquay. Straight into their 50 once again. Couple of one-on-ones going here. Gleeson was... there was a great mark there. Can't pick up who that was. Was that...
Heathcote again.
Heathcote again. And he's going to go for this one. Let's take up some time here. We've played 17 minutes in this final term.
It's their 62nd inside 50 for the match.
62.
62, yep.
How many for Newcomb for the match?
37.
37. Well, there you go. I would have thought it was less, to be honest, but...
Captain Parrish has had a pretty tough role, but he's played his heart out for the team.
So Heathcote goes up on the right foot. High ball, but to the left. And Reid was trying to tap that one out there. It's still in play. Henderson's chasing after the ball, but goes across the line. That was Grace there who brought it over. It'll be thrown in. Torquay have a bit to play with here. Plenty of men around.
Tossed in. Still inside 50 for Torquay. Numbers wanted it. Ground level. Lovell stripped of it. And the ball out of play, exactly where it came from.
For any AFL viewers, Collingwood have defeated Carlton by 19 points, 106 to 87, and the Bulldogs have beaten the Brisbane Lions by 16 points, 92 to 76.
Was that played in Melbourne, that game?
Birchall straightens up and squeezes one home. Paul Birchall. His first for the afternoon, just inside the goalposts. Another for Torquay. It's their 5th goal of the term already, and they might still add a couple more before this one's out.
Just one point away, Torquay are from the big 3, getting it's big 3 points, sorry, but they're still a little bit away from getting the margin up to 100 points.
So ball goes up there. Burke had the tap and just picked up there by McDonald, who takes it around, but he looks to be tackled. And it will be, once again, still in McDonald's hands. Players progress forward there. Can't find anyone yet. He's not happy with his decisions, but he just launches it into the 50. Plenty of players down there to pick it up. Tapped along to the back. Pass there, but it's in the goal square. Torquay cleared out. That was Holmes there that did the work. Looking for Warmold. And then it was Bennett there that had it. Ramey just clears it out, but looking for a man there. Oh, Heathcote almost with the one hand. Umpire said something. Play on here is the call. Grace kicks it, looking for Henderson. Henderson's got it. Perfect chest mark by Henderson. He's been very strong in his final term, and he'll be in his preferred pocket for potentially a 5th goal today. We can't see him on the TV screen. He's very tight in that pocket. I'm struggling to see him, but he is going to go for it. He'll appear into the screen momentarily. Here he goes. Sun's just peeked out here again. Oh, yeah, he goes for a man in the centre. Oh, high one there. That was Heathcote going up. And piling through there was Dawson. And now that will be called for a ball up. Very long shadow starting to appear. Just ticking past 4:30 today.
Yep, 21 minutes gone too in this final term. It's Torquay convincing winners, as you can see in the bottom left of your screens. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage this afternoon. Reid was stripped of it. Torquay have been so good around the footy. Free kick for in the back against going to Warmold, excuse me. You can hear Corey Ogle just not happy with the call, so it'll be going back to Sam Warmold.
Hussey was slow to get up there for Newcomb from a one-on-one, but he's up now. Wasn't too happy with it. He's manned up with Chapman.
So plenty of numbers inside 50 due to that delay. So Wormwood just caresses it because of this. Shallow entry inside 50. Raid Me emerges with it. Holmes has runners in board. Handball over the top. Can they work a way through? Chapman's one of them. Kicks deep into the 50, but the ball pitches in play, I think. It
Sure
did
does.
and be tossed in. So 22 minutes gone on this final term. Torquay 14, 15, 99 to Newcomb 2, 5, 17.
Ball thrown back in there, taps it there by Hollins. And O'Connell has the ball for Newcomb. He just takes it to that outer side. Plenty of plays went up there. Birchall almost had in his hands for Torquay, and it's taken across the line. Bit of numerology from the scoreboard I've noticed. Newcomb's 2-5 is half of what Torquay have scored in goals today.
Well, there you go.
There you go. That's not a good sign there.
Say it again.
So Newcomb's 2-5,
Yeah.
which is 7.
Yes.
It's half of Torquay's goals. They've kicked 14. That's not very good. Yeah. It's about a quarter of Torquay's attempts on goal. 14, 15. Newcomb only 2-5.
Should go on the bounce.
Yeah.
I should go on the bounce,
Only
yeah.
Tweet the bounce. with
Yeah.
that.
Moon's
I think they only take AFL requests, don't
Yeah.
they? Yeah. Anyway.
Country footy's better than AFL.
Tossed up. Right over on the outer side. Ball falls for Childersley. Birchall takes his man on, runs to 50 and kicks it behind. Would have been a good goal from Paul Birchall.
First to 100 wins. And they've hit the 100 mark, triple figures.
Nolan plays on quickly. He's got Ryan further afield for him. Kick was over his head. And out of play.
Scoreline reads 14, 16, 100 to 2, 5, 17. I might just add as well. So 83-point margin. This will be a good percentage booster for Torquay, who coming into this game had a percentage of 113 to Newcomb's 85%. Tapped there by Birchall. And just kicked off the ground there straight away into the hands of Chapman.
Bit of ping pong.
Yeah, a bit of ping pong. Chapman's looking for a man there. That was Paul Birchall, I think, going up. And Grace is chasing down behind. Great tackle there. And still in play the ball. Just swung around there. And it is Huntley Mitchell by himself who will take the mark and just slow things down.
It is. He's deep in his own defensive half. He'll switch to the outer side. Nice looking kick finds Ladlow, who's worked hard through midfield. Huntley Mitchell was on again in the 45, but ignored that.
To Hollins.
Finds Hollins. Inboard back to Ladlow.
One of 3 interleague players for Newcomb alongside Hussey and Burke.
Ladlow assessing the options, just drives this one hard down the line, but Indy Ryan was caught behind his man.
Torquay plus 20 for possessions for the quarter, now 21. And Newcomb just can't get inside 50. They've only had the 6 for the quarter to Torquay's 17.
So Holmes takes it backwards and he will go into the back line there as they switch the ball around into the hands of Saker. He's had a bit of the ball today. There's been a few more regular customers of the ball looking for Raimi. He's by himself. Great chest mark there. And he goes towards the centre. Looking for Mackay. Mackay over to the outer side again. Kicked along the outer wing. Henderson was around there, but great mark for Torquay. Bombed straight into 50 once again. Heathcote's there. He'll be looking for the ball. Doesn't hit anyone. Tried to be tapped out there by Newcomb's back line. Short pass there. Grace tried to pick up. He couldn't get his hands on the footy. And there it is. Snap on the right boot by Wormwood. And that will be another behind. 14-17, 101, 2-5, 17.
First score of the afternoon for Sam Wormwood's. Brought back in, but they turned it over ever so briefly. But Hussey will be the recipient of a free kick. He goes quickly back to Nolan, who had a quick fumble. Finds Hussey again, who goes and his left foot found Ladlow. Hussey kept going too. Drills one into the middle of the ground. Ryan was bundled off it. And Torquay again come up with the footy, but it's swooped in. Doing a great job there was McDonald. Did a great job to spoil, and they've got numbers over Mead Hardings all by himself if they can get it over to him. Ryan falls over at the crucial time. Can you believe it? They had 2 players in the goal square unmarked, and they still couldn't get it to them into your iron.
It's more unlucky, to be honest, with that slip over, but
it is. Boy, that just sums up their day, Will.
Well, that is the thing, though. They did do that last handball. They could have handballed over the top to meet Harding, and yeah, it's just. Oh, you're right. It hasn't been their day.
Instead of handballing, they could have just kicked it.
Yep, and it's exactly right.
And there it is. The final siren calls time on a convincing Torquay victory. They move to their 4th win of the season and consolidate their place inside the BFL top 5. And Newcomb slide further out of it. They are now 3-3. The final scores: Torquay 14-17, 101. Newcomb just 2 goals for the afternoon, 2-5-17. Boys, I'll run through the goal kickers quickly, and you can give me your 3 best players for the day while I do that, if you like, before we wrap things up. So for Torquay, Henderson, I've got him in 3. Did he kick 4? I think he kicked 4, didn't he? Billy Henderson?
Yeah, he kicked 4.
Sorry, missed one there. Billy Henderson kicked 4 for the Tigers, and we had 2 for Paul McMahon and Ben Raidme and Jack Heathcote. Singles to Birchall, Deledio, Lovell and Grace. Over on the Newcomb side of the page, not much to read. Just the 1 goal to Andrew Steele in the first term and Shane O'Connell in the last. That's it.
Well, but votes.
Oh, it's a tough one.
I've put you on the up against it early here, but what do you reckon?
I'll go